Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Independent Truckers right here at the Truckers Independent Broadcasting Network with John Grosvenor and Sean Mitchell. How you doing, Sean?
How's it going tonight, John?
Oh, it's going. It's going. Roofing. Well, I got some downtime, killing myself. I got to go back to trucking to get away from work, man.
Well, I had to run away from Georgia last week just to get a few days of a break. So,
yeah, right. So, I wanted to start out a little bit tonight about Jacob Chansley, also known as Jake Angeli, also known as the QAnon Shaman, or some people dubbed him as a QAnon Shaman. I think he just went by the Shaman. But I just wanted to bring it to people's attention at the beginning of the show that his sentencing, he had pled guilty to charges of obstructing Congress some time ago. And his sentencing is November 17th. You do have an opportunity if you're not too thrilled about the fact that he's being sentenced. If you're like I am and you feel like he's kind of been a little railroad, there's a lot of background issues going on with this case. And so I plan on sending a letter for leniency to Judge Lamberth. And so if anybody else would like to join me in that effort to send a letter in and ask for leniency on the sentencing, you can do so in care of Albert Watkins at kwklaw.net. Should be something simple and easy to write up and no problem to do. It's kind of funny because I look at the history and stuff, and they're making such a big deal about this. Bunch of people went into the Capitol building and protested against what they feel is an unjust and unfair government. And, they're making this out to be the worst thing in the world. And I've read some history on this thing, and there was like 4 guys that detonated a bomb in the Capitol building. Literally blew it up. Well, they did detonate a bomb. They blew up the whole building. But the point is President Carter had commuted the sentence of one of them and pardoned 3 of them. Thomas Jefferson pardoned General Shea and his men for their rebellion. There's so many things in history where people have been pardoned for some much, much worse crimes, and I kind of think that it's kind of heinous for this guy to be sentenced with anything other than time served after everything he's been through. So I don't know. Like I said, I intend to send my letter in, show the man a little bit of support. I thought he was an interesting character for the most part. At one time I made fun of him, entering the Capitol building so easy a caveman can do it. But now I don't think it's so funny, because he's facing 20 years. So I just wanted to put that out there at the beginning of the show. Sean, you had something on your mind in regard to this?
Well, I mean, you could go back and you can do a lot of things with people what they've done in the past. I mean, look how many times Leslie Van Houten's been on parole, up for parole now.
Yeah.
And each time the governor has stopped it.
Yeah. Well,
now, I look at it, I kind of look at it in Leslie's case. She's in her 70s, almost 80s. What else is she going to do? She's institutionalized.
What is she going to do? You're 70.
I mean, it was all set up. It was when she first got out, and she got out on a technicality. She was working at a law firm with her dad. And then when they brought her back in, and they're not about to let her out, but yet though we got crazy Newsom out in California, which, in a way, I agree. They probably should need the part of daylight again. But the bottom line of it is that, once they've been sentenced, that's it. Now, if you can show just cause, then that's fine. But, of course, then you have to go through the court system and you have to do everything. But, when a man's already been sentenced for 20 years, and you're going to resentence him again?
Is this Jake Angeli?
Yeah, he's already been sentenced. Once?
No, he's up for sentencing. He's never been sentenced. That's why it's important to send this letter now. Like you said, once he's been sentenced and once he's in jail, locked away for however long, it's hard to do anything in somebody's favor. So if we send a letter now, we may be able to show him a little support and maybe the judge will just kind of see it as, he just got wrapped up in a little bit of mass hysteria known as QAnon, and with the things going on in D.C. that day, things got out of hand. It's not like he was inappropriate. It's not like he was breaking things or he was destroying things. So I don't know. I thought he was entertaining myself. To be honest with you, I found the man to be entertaining all in all. I like his get up.
Well, I read just the other day, Robert Durst is being charged with a murder clear back in the 90s from his wife.
I don't recall Robert.
He's a very made millionaire in California.
Oh. I don't recall this case.
I mean, it's another case like Robert Blake. Now all of a sudden they want to start bringing these guys up on charges. I mean, to get back to the Manson murders, they were going after Sharon Tate's former husband, all because of child molestation charges. He finds out that he's going to get hung. He bolts and goes back to Switzerland or back to his native country. They catch him over at his chateau. They won't bring him back to the United States. Lansky he just might as well face facts. Don't bother coming back to the United States.
Oh, you talking about Roman Polanski?
Bingo.
Yeah. That was yeah. Yeah, he's never coming back here. He's done. I mean, God, he's got.
Even the woman he had sex with back in the '70s said it's been so far along, she can't even remember all the details. Yeah. She's all convinced just to let it go. And what's very funny is this all was at Jack Nicholson's house.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It was he had a hideaway up in Aspen, Colorado.
Oh. Well, I found myself last week saying screw California. I was on Common Sense Conservatives blurting out about how California goes screw itself.
Did you do that?
I was talking about politics. Yes, I did. I was talking about politics, of course, and Hollywood and their self-righteous attitude. That and Silicon Valley, people like Bill Gates and stuff, their self-righteous attitude trying to tell us how to live, right? They got their 25,000 square foot mansions trying to tell us we need to watch our carbon footprint and such. I just had enough of California politics and California bullshit altogether,
And the thing of it is, when I was stationed in California, it was nothing to walk on a beach, see parties on the beach line, people handing out beers, giving you food. Everybody wanted to be sociable. They just wanted to have a good time.
Yeah.
Nobody was getting hurt. Nobody was getting mugged or anything. And try that today and watch what happens.
Well, it used to be one of the greatest places on earth. It really did. It was a beautiful place. They had great politics, and every place has always got its issues, and every place has always got its little bits of corruption and stuff, and things that go on behind the scenes. But all in all, California is a beautiful place, and there's a lot of great people still live there, and there's a lot of people that are very conservative still living there. And right now, there's a lot of people that live in tents because working for a living, but yet they live in tents because they can't afford to live. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. So once again, somebody knows how to screw something up.
Speaking of ridiculous politics, Sean, what did you think about Pete Buttigieg announcing what an atrocious thing it is that we're facing 40,000 fatalities this year?
Well, I'm sure he didn't mean just about it the drivers.
Well, no, 40,000 fatalities are highway crashes and stuff, roadway crashes. So it's all fatalities every.
What changed for this year to be that rate so high?
Well, that's a good question.
What changed? I know what changed in the trucking industry.
Well, lots have been changing through it ever since 2010. There's been a lot of changes in the trucking industry. They have not been for the better in these regards.
I remember when you and I were at that FMCSA meeting, and that one guy popped up and said, Well, for some damn reason in 2008, we had a loss of drivers. We don't know why. We just can't figure it out. Well, that's because a bunch of them got tired and threw in their CDL and decided to be ordinary folk because they didn't want to put up with a bunch of crap.
We also had a market crash in 2008, which is going to be negative to safer travels, right? I mean, there's going to be less people on the road if they can't afford the gasoline to get out there to be on the road, you know?
Quite frankly, the COVID hit. A lot of people stayed home. You know, drivers weren't. We didn't have a lot of more obstacles. Now everybody's starting to get back out, and everybody's starting to do everything. And now you watch and see how many obstacles they're going to have to start facing again.
This is true.
And don't misunderstand the statement I'm about to say, because I've seen it myself since traffic's picked back up. The drivers of today are going to have to relearn to drive again.
Well, that goes back to the training issues we've always griped about for a long time now. It always goes back to
now you got more traffic out on the road. You're also getting in, we got 3 major holidays coming up left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to have to start, the drivers again are going to have to start watching out for themselves.
So 40,000 fatalities a year wasn't that uncommon. You got to realize 40% of highway fatalities, generally speaking, it's about 40% of the fatalities are made up by drinking and driving.
I'll go along with that.
That's a lot, and that's just about the number. It's just about what it's been every year, I guess, give or take. As far as trucking goes, up until 2018, from 2010, let's see, with 2010 we had about 10,770 large trucks registered. In 2018, 13,233 trucks registered. Fatality differences back then for trucks was 3,271 fatalities involving commercial motor vehicles. Just trucks alone, not buses. Combined with buses, it was 3,686. In 2018, it was 4,415. Combined with buses, 4,951. Almost 5,000 fatalities involving commercial motor vehicles.
My rule of thumb has always been the night before the holiday, I try to find a place to park as early as I can within limits, and I don't come out on the road till the next day. Because they always did say that your worst driving hours between 1 and 3 a.m.
Well, yeah, I think that has a lot to do with, I don't know. Anytime, even when I was rested, that was the worst driving hours. I felt that myself when I was over the road. I feel that anytime. Until you get conditioned to it, you know, and that's the thing about it.
All right.
That's the thing about driving in whether you're in a commercial motor vehicle or you're in a car, you got to become conditioned and trained to it. Let's see.
And that's what I was talking about earlier about the drivers are going to have to start learning to drive again, in the sense now we're going to have more constructions picked up in a lot more of these states. They're finding out they can do things in the wintertime now, which they've been doing this for a long time, but now they're finding out there's a lot more they can do. So now you've got more hazards out on the road.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what year this was. I'm looking at Pocket Guide. Oh, this is 2020. That's what it is. We don't have 2021 yet. It's October and the 2021 Pocket Guide isn't out. That's why.
You better call Joey.
Usually 2 years behind.
You better call Joey.
Yeah, they still got the 2020 Pocket Guide. This is FMCSA. 2021 will probably come out next year. Leland says he feels the safest time is between 11 and 4 a.m.
Well, I could go along with that.
I liked, when I was over the road, I liked driving at nights a lot. I listened to Coast AM with Art Bell. And that was always fun. And it's just so much less traffic, so much less headaches, so much less DOT. I wouldn't mind driving between 6 and 6 a.m., you know. It just didn't bother me a bit. Like I said, when you get conditioned to it, and there's things you do, there's been times I've been stuck, you know. And you're driving, like, say, I remember this one specific time, it was I-10. coming out of Texas across Louisiana. And I'm thinking I'm just going to, I pick a spot. And I pull off, and spots are all full. So I'll go to the next truck stop. And I'll go to the next truck stop. And I'll go to the next truck stop. Pretty soon it's midnight. I'm going, wow, I'm kind of tired. And you're getting into these truck stops, and you're slaloming through. You can't. You're like thinking, man, if I don't get out of here, I'm screwed. And you're thinking, if I'm lucky, I won't hit somebody on my way out because they're just stacked in there so tight. And but you learn how to get through the night. You know what I mean? You learn how to do it. You don't just keep driving until you crash. You learn when to pull off and to pick spots and how to keep yourself alert and awake during the night until you can get a spot.
Well, and in a lot of cases, too, a lot of drivers are stopping earlier during the days, too. Have you noticed that? They're stopping earlier in the days because they don't want to pay for preferred parking.
No, I wouldn't notice that at all because I literally told Joey D., and he had Bill Mahoney on the phone with him. I literally told him it'd be a cold day in hell before I ever use an electronic logging device. I'd rather live like a hermit in the woods before I'll ever turn on an electronic logging device in a truck that I am driving. And I stayed true to that so far. So,
you know Joey D's losing sleep over that.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. But no, actually, his response was just cold-heartedly, well, we all have to make our choices, John. Yeah. But no, I haven't been over the road since.
You know as well as I do. Joey's just losing sleep over that.
I'm not complaining. I liked over the road driving. I liked being a truck driver that way. There was times I didn't care for it. There was times I was getting sick and tired of it. There was times I was tired of being alone all the time. But it's fun. There's something about over the road truck driving. It's just a lot of fun. It's like they say. You get that diesel in your blood and you just can't get it out. But I don't want to do it in those regards. I don't want to use an electronic logging device. I don't want to feel like I'm controlled that much. Before when I did it, I was safe and practical. I was productive because I could cheat the logbook. But now it's a situation, and this is why accident fatalities are up, because you can't cheat the logbook anymore. Because you can't do it you can't run when you're awake, and you can't sleep when you're tired. You're trying to do just the opposite. You're getting stuck in positions, and compromising, and I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to deal with it. I think it's ridiculous. But yeah,
well, see, maybe what you ought to do is get you a friend with some big ears.
Yeah. Why was that? How's that help though?
Well, every 2 hours I have to stop.
That's why I never had a dog in the truck, because I have to take care of somebody. Then I would have to stop.
I don't think she's going to be in here much longer, but.
Well, it's not a bad thing if you got a dog. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying that's why I never.
No, I just don't. To me, I think you're doing a dog more harm than good. But not everybody runs the way you and I would run.
Well, that's just it. I like to run. When I was over the road, I wanted to run, and I didn't want to have to stop for the dog. I didn't want to have to be distracted with it. I wanted, you ever get that when you're driving, and when you're like fresh start for the day, you're too hyper. You're like you always just want to pull the truck over and get out of the seat or go do something, move around and stuff. But when you hit that certain low, that certain point in the day, that's usually about after 8 hours of driving, the coffee's pretty much worn off, and you're just comfortable in that seat, and you just want to do nothing but roll. Just keep going.
Well, and there's times I can roll 4 or 5 hours, then it's time for me to stretch my legs. Time to do whatever I need to do. But again, not everybody runs the way we're accustomed running, John.
I know. I've seen guys at 5 o'clock in the evening. No matter what, they're pulling off in the truck stop and they're raising that satellite dish. They are set in for the night. They're done. And trucking wasn't that for me. My thing about trucking was I was in that truck to run that truck. Some people want to sit around and play video games. I wanted to drive the truck. That's how I always was. That was my fun. I wanted to drive the truck. That's what I was there for.
Oh, I mean, there's times I do something to take a break for myself, just if anything. I got a couple games on the phone I play. I've got Pluto TV. So if there's a show on I want to see, I can watch it.
Oh, yeah.
There's ways that you can try to eliminate some stress and get yourself out of the mindset. But, I mean, when you got a company that always wants to just bang you, the minute they see you, they can't wait to see how fast you walk out the door because they know you're getting ready to deliver another load.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they love to find a runner, and sometimes they abuse that too. But I don't know. That was me. I
Just
got my
like
rest. I mean,
just
I
like
slept when I was
yesterday.
tired.
Yesterday, I haven't even told you this. I'm sitting there eating. Guy walks in, said, "Oh yeah, here's one of my runners," and I thought, "Oh shit, you had to go there."
Nah.
And I just looked right at him and told him, I said, "Oh, you really had to tell that story, huh?"
He was trying to get somebody. He was trying to juice him up, man. Look, you can be just like Sean one day.
Yeah, well, he didn't like it when Sean had to say something when he tried to steal Chanel's the food too, but that's another story.
Oh well,
Yeah.
these dogs are eating pretty good these days. So good humans can eat it.
Yeah, well,
I know
it's
mine
like I told him
does.
Yeah, well, it's like I told him keep your dick skinners off my dog's food.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did. So, according to this, in 2018, there were 33,654 fatalities on America's roads. So, if we have 40,000, we're upward about 6,500 more.
And all I can do when I hear those numbers is wonder how much of it's getting blamed on us.
Well, they blame truck drivers 100% of all the accidents that they are involved. 100%, even though they got no statistics to say who's at fault and what ratio truck drivers are at fault. They get blamed for 100%. That's what Leland said. Oh, hey, Leland's messaging me. He can't comment because Facebook won't let him.
How the hell did Leland get blocked?
I don't know. I don't understand it. In fact, I wanted to put it out there. If anybody's incapable of commenting, send me a private message or something. Let me know if you're also incapable of commenting. I want to know, is that an issue going on out there? Or is it just Leland or what's going on? Because I've heard of this before where people say, oh, I can't comment on this, and I don't know why. Whether it's this show or something else.
Well, it's like it says on my picture of Facebook, John. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Zuckerberg changes the name to Meta. The ELD did it.
Yeah, I remember that group page. So
the ELD done it, John.
I thought he was just at first. I was reading about that, and I thought he was just creating a parent company for Facebook and WhatsApp and all these other social media sites that he owns. But I guess he's changing the name of Facebook. Trying to make it a three-dimensional virtual reality we can all participate in. And for me, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get rid of us old fuddy-duddies, and he wants to now get the younger crowd back, get them off TikTok. I'm not sure, but I'm not spending that much time on Facebook. I'm just not.
There's a lot of people that aren't spending time on Facebook like they used to. And, I mean, from what our conversations you and I have had, if there's a way we could get off of Facebook for our show, we would do it.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm looking for different avenues and stuff. But
so, I mean, really, TikTok's took over all the drama.
I saw a funny post. Wendy posted it. It was a picture of a guy sitting with.
Now wait a minute. Every time you bring up Wendy, you get a 3-day vacation.
Well, sometimes, I comment on some of her posts, and for some reason, Facebook will give me a 3-day.
You always get a 3-day vacation with her.
Yeah.
I still say there's something going on there, but okay.
Well, I think it's association. If somebody's always getting banned and you're commenting on their content, I think you get associated. But neither.
Well, there you go.
The post within itself was a man sitting there with children, and it said, How was it worded on that? This is what it looks like every time somebody over 20 years old logs into TikTok. I thought it was great because I'm familiar with that.
And they're getting wrong on TikTok more than they ever thought about getting on Facebook.
They're doing what? Oh, banned?
They're getting more raunchy. Yeah, they're getting more raunchier on TikTok than they ever thought about on Facebook.
I don't know. TikTok was always that way. There's a lot of women and stuff seeking attention on TikTok, so braless shirts, dancing around, stupid stuff like that. It gets pretty
Okay, I heard a ding. Was that Leland?
Yeah, that's Lee. Every time you're in a ding, that's Lee. And I got to get rid of my. I'll take that off from this so you don't hear that no more. But yeah, he's messaging me.
Well, let's hear what Leland has to say. He usually has some good words of wisdom.
Well, he had mentioned. He said earlier. He says, "Let's go, Brandon." And yeah, I agree, Leland. I could chant that one out. And he said, "TikTok
Yeah.
is free porn there." So, well, if you want the porn side of TikTok, there is a such thing as banned TikToks, or there was a website, and I don't see them anymore. I was looking for, like say Jeremy Johnson and stuff got banned. I thought they were sharing their videos to this website, so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll go check it out and see if I can find them there. And then I find Twitter. They got the raunchy TikToks. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, explicit. I think is what it was called. I'm like, okay, I know where all the explicit material is.
Yeah. Yes, because I'm seeing these girls seeking attention, calling thick TikTok fans.
Oh, I've seen that too on TikTok. He said,
So,
leave the ding on the. So I know you got this. I already closed out that one. So
poor
anyway,
Leland.
now you know where you can get your.
Why doesn't Leland just call in?
He did. But he didn't cue in, so what are you gonna do? That's your cue to cue, Leland. Our three listeners want to hear from you.
Oh, we have 3 now?
Well, not anymore. Now we're down to 2. One of them got a phone call. So
one of them got a phone call.
What do you think about Buttigieg trying to politicize his position as Secretary of Transportation?
Well, I guess it's okay if you want to go out and buy a prosthetic boob.
Oh, he's going to do that anyway, I'm sure. Bring in Leland.
I'm sorry. I just can't get over that one. Really, Buddha really doesn't have much say when it comes to the trucking industry in general. He barely knew his ass around South Bend. And that still amazes me that he was even mayor of a town full of Catholics.
They got Catholics in South Bend?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Didn't you know that?
That amazes you? Really? That really amazes
I can't
you.
imagine Catholics in Indiana. I don't know.
5 Hail Marys, spritz yourself with the rosary beads, and he is forgiven.
Oh, is that what happened, Leland?
It is.
Uh,
That's why I've always joked and said anybody that's a Catholic, that's the religion. You can do anything you want. Just go confess and do a few Hail Marys, and your all sins are forgiven. Really.
nah, sometimes it don't work that way.
Well, you don't think he should have been voted in with all the Catholics there, but yet all the issues with little boys happens with Catholics? Really?
Well, let's see. If I remember right, that had been going on for years. It's just now finally come to attention. And actually, I am glad that that's happening. I am actually glad that this attention with the boys are now coming out.
Maybe the fact that they're being exposed for the perverts they are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, to me,
I was waiting for you to clarify that.
well,
I thought
we've
it
all,
needed a little clarity.
why be a hypocrite? John and I exposed we exposed a damn whatever you want to call him last year.
Which one?
Yeah, Buttigieg has no clue. His whole idea behind everything is that as long as there's a backup, that means that the economy is flourishing. And head that one chickie food of commerce, her big thing is, well, trucking is private sector. We normally don't get involved in that. Really? Look at all the regulations you put on the private sector for not getting involved in that.
Well,
it just baffles me.
I got a question for you, Leland. When are you going to Los Angeles?
I ain't going to that state.
You're not going to do your part to put a container on your lowboy?
No, I have no reason for that. What for?
I don't think Leland struck.
I thought you were I thought
California.
you were going to help out the cause.
Piss on them. I didn't cause that issue. They caused that issue with their CARB. And now
They
see, this
did.
all boils down to the Newsom got voted back in, which was rigged. That is so rigged. And
Oh, come on.
if-
I know
you
it
those
was.
elections are honest and fair, and the most honest and fair we've ever had.
Uh-huh. That's just like after the election of Trump and
No.
Georgia gets to re-vote. What do? They use the same voting machines and expect a different outcome?
Dude,
Really?
no, the thing of it is...
Are you people that idiotic?
They didn't,
And okay, so now you got Newsom lost. Now if this idiot in Virginia keeps his position, it's all rigged. We'll never be able to vote again in this country because the Democrats have figured out how to steal every election.
You know,
But
and to
getting
bring up
back
a
to the
good point about
California thing-
California, to bring
Yeah,
up a good
he's-
point about
now
California,
they're doing the green deal where you got to get rid of all gas lawnmowers, and in that bill it says everything 25 horsepower or less. So now what all the Republicans that live out there need to do is go buy themselves a John Deere 3010, 4020, whatever, farm tractor or a case or whatever you want, diesel, and put a 12-foot brush mower on behind it and then mow your lawn.
a pull behind.
They're
you know,
not
what was
thinking
so
of anything
funny,
they
what was
do.
so funny though about the California thing was I was listening to this lady on a talk show. She said she went in to register to vote, and they swore up and be damned, she already voted.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times. Then to find out there was a total in that one particular building, it happened to 8 other people. They had already voted, but they never been in that building prior to when it opened up. They were waiting in
Right.
line like everybody else.
You know, like in Iran.
And, you bring up the recounting the vote. Like Wisconsin, Racine County Sheriff had a thing on. Just in Racine County, talked about how many votes were illegal at a nursing home. Just this one area. And he says, we don't care how you voted. We're not here to change the election. We're here to figure out who committed the fraud. So, you just take that, and I forgot, I just lost my train of thought. Just like that.
You were on a
Isn't it
roll,
sweet?
too. You were on a roll.
Oh. I lost it.
You know, I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that. I'm glad to know.
I think he looked over at Lisa and went, "Da, can be good, da."
Right? No, I just lost it. I forgot where I was going. See, it comes and goes so fast. The Reagan disease.
Right, yeah, we're getting that age now, you know. We're getting up there a few years.
No, I don't think Leland's got AIDS.
I said age. I didn't say AIDS.
Oh,
I said Reagan.
God.
I didn't say AIDS.
no.
But nobody thinks about all these consequences anywhere, in any state, Oh, I know what it was. Okay, you take all these voting that everybody knows was wrong. There is no way in God's name that Biden got 84 million votes or 82 million votes. I don't care. I would stand here and tell you that Trump didn't get that many. But there is no way he got more than Obama did. None. And
Okay,
I
so
would admit
Arizona
that-
decertified their election results. So what's that
Okay.
going to do now?
But the whole thing is, what difference does it make? Who cares? They're not going to remove him from office. They're not going to remove
No,
the
they
Democrat
won't.
Party from D.C. So all of this was just a dog and pony show.
No,
We're going to make
it's
this
not.
a
It's-
big appeasing moment to the American public on the right, but nothing is going to happen to anybody on the left. Nobody's in jail. Nobody's arrested. Nothing changed. Everybody's voting on the same Dominion machines right now.
This is what happens every time. You remember in 2000 between Bush and Gore. It was
With the
role
Chads?
reversal. The Chads and all the other crap, but there was also the what was the name of those voting machines? I forgot again. But they were accusing the political right of cheating in 2000.
Right.
And now we're just accusing the political left of cheating. Now the political left goes, "Oh, we've always had honest and fair elections." Like, dude, you were accusing people of cheating 20 years ago.
Right.
But if I remember right, that they were also fighting who got the electoral votes out of Florida.
Well, that was because of the Chads. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Hanging
And
Chads.
see, because we're an instant society, so we feel we have to know the election outcome immediately. I remember growing up, you went to bed, you didn't know who won. You woke up the next morning and you found out.
I was doing that this time.
Now everybody
Maybe.
feels they have to know within a couple hours. Why?
Well, that's that whole we're calling
You
the
know,
election thing. You know, they call it as it goes, and like, okay, we're calling Ohio for this candidate. We're calling Georgia for that candidate.
Whoa, shit.
What?
Dumbass motherfucker just pulled out off the shoulder right in front of me.
Now, Leland, I got to let you know that this is a respectable family show here, and words like that just won't be tolerated.
Would you rather have heard smash?
No, the MF
See, I
is
give you a
all right.
warning.
Oh.
I'm banged up.
Don't worry about it, Leland. I called somebody a dickhead tonight, so don't feel bad.
I heard.
Okay.
Oh, he made what Dick Skinner references. I mean, my God.
Yes, I did.
Speaking of horrible references, you guys
Mess with my dog's food. Watch what happens.
Dickhead. Need a train horn.
Sounds like he's still dealing with this.
Yes, it does.
So anyway, my thing about
Does this kind of remind you of during the days when we have Nikki's memoirs?
I don't remember Nikki's memoirs.
Oh yes, remember the days when we were on the phone and she was using much derogatory language?
Oh yeah. Oh God, dude, yeah, she goes off when somebody does something stupid in front of her. I mean, I think she's gonna blow a blood vessel goes off. Okay.
We'd have to do a lot of bleeping.
Yeah.
We do our own bleeping. Some of these women, man, they put us to shame.
They do.
Well, we almost had another statistic for you to add here, so. And it wouldn't have been us, it would have been that car, because they would have been flat.
I heard that MFer, man. I was getting ready to start sharpening my pencil.
I'm about ready to take notes.
He's gonna take notes.
I'm going to take notes when it comes to Leland. Leland is a ton of information. He really is.
Oh, yeah. He does his research, too.
Yeah. So where are you at, Sean? Because we're on our way to Florida.
I'm up here in Minnesota tonight. I get to go see Corn Pop this weekend.
Oh, we were up there Thursday night last week, eating dinner in Clearwater.
What's Corn Pop doing in Minnesota? I thought he was a Delaware person.
No, I'm going to see Corn Pop.
Okay. I don't know
I have
who
a
that
load
is.
of chickens going to Landover.
Oh, okay. He's going to go see Corn Pop in Maryland.
And I still have 3 marked.
You know, you got to be
And
careful
each one of
with
them,
this. I wouldn't
each
go
one
too
of them
deep.
will have X-Lax in it.
Okay, I wouldn't go any further. I mean, you know, you might be misconstrued
Hey,
threatening a certain individual of society that might be considered a federal offense. You got to be careful here now.
You know that Nelson's bought a truck stop down there, at Hasty?
No, that I didn't know.
Yep.
I know Nelson Brothers sold out to the same truck stop that owned in Sauk Center.
Oh, Truckers Inn?
Yeah, that owned Sauk
Nelson
Center
sold
bought
out to them?
bought Nelson. Yeah. Because if you go in this is a bad comparison. If you happen to go into the men's restroom, they have the electronic advertisements above in the room, and you'll see where they're advertising for Truckers End. Now, what truck stop advertises for another?
It might be because they're small truck stops.
Well, could be.
Nelson's isn't owned by the Petro. Petro sells fuel there.
No.
Nelson's is still Nelson. So it's still a privately owned truck stop. So maybe they're advertising for another privately owned truck stop, which is Trucker Inn.
No, Truckers is the one that bought the one that owns Truckers Inn bought this one. Another driver, and we talked to the owner in the bar one night. See, that's another thing. How many bars do you know in a Petro?
Yeah, Canada, they're at every one.
Now, I know they used to have a bar at the TA in Baltimore, and they had one in Jessup, but I do believe both of them have been closed down now.
Yeah, Des Moines. Yeah, Grandma's. Well, it's not a bar. They sell alcohol. But, yeah. So, what is it, the 183? It's the exit before Petro? Where D&E is.
Well, B&E would be at the Hastings exit. This is at the 178.
They bought too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what? Anything else we're going to talk about, John?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Well, I'm going to go and listen to how the election turns out. Pray to God that Terry McAuliffe gets voted out.
Well, let's pop this question, Leland. What we got you on the phone. Let's pop this question. So, when are you guys coming back?
We're working on getting a special guest. That would be probably a one-time, one-night only show like the Bee Gees. One-night show.
Is this pay-per-view?
It could be, the way Leland made it sound.
Yeah, for one night only. That was actually a good show for the Bee Gees, those of you that like them. So
I just seen the other day there was another group from the 60s getting ready to they're getting ready to go back out on tour.
We just decided we're not going to go do any shows anymore because nobody cares.
You know, in a way, I don't think it's so much that nobody cares, that we've talked about this before. It's nobody cares what you're doing. But then when you make it work, all of a sudden, some people get a little offended. And there was some things that you and Lisa had going that were actually working.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of distractions.
Got to be a paper milled around here somewhere. We're by Charleston, South Carolina. It smells like a sewage plant.
Well, yeah, chances are there's a paper mill then.
I hope you're not in Charleston, South Carolina. If you are, you've missed your exit.
He's going to the port down there. He just hasn't told you yet. He's going to sneak it. He's going to sneak a container. He's going to sneak a container out of Florida.
He's trying to get one of those that fit through the Panama Canal. Is that what he's doing?
There you go.
Yeah, no, I think, you went to, what is that? I can't remember.
So where are you going at in Florida?
Orlando.
Oh, damn.
Orlando.
That's right up Kit's alley, John.
Yeah.
Or Cat. That's right up Cat Carmack's alley.
Oh, yeah. She's where's she at? No, she's over by Gainesville. I tell you what, she's going to be a hot ticket.
She's a U.S. representative.
Yeah.
going to be something else.
Yeah, I saw.
She's quite a ways north.
I couldn't comment. So.
Well, if this ever happens, Leland, and you want us to help you promote it, let me know, or let John know, and we'll get it out on the TIBN like we do everything else, show-wise.
Alrighty.
So,
Alrighty.
and because as of right now, we're going to start. There's a new show actually coming out on BeanPod now called Candidly Kim. Former state representative Utah, Kim Coleman, gets on and she speaks about current events and issues. And she actually has some good ideas. Quite frankly, I'd like to see her go up against Romney.
Yeah.
Can Romney go up against anybody anymore? He's pretty much.
I think he's done.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much shown what a turncoat he is.
I think he's done.
They all should be done.
He had me thinking maybe that 2012 election was nothing but him handing it back to Obama, making sure he got a second term.
Well, not to mention the fact you got, 6 Democrats have said they're not running for election. 6 have already came out and said they're not in the House.
Are they too embarrassed to be Democrats?
Yeah, they've already said they're not going to seek re-election. And I still think some of it has to do with what happened with Pelosi.
I think a lot of people got tired of her politics. She's been dirty. I always said it, man. One thing Trump has done, he may not have drained that swamp, but he caused them to expose themselves.
Oh, yes, he did. He did a very nice job, too.
He poked at them really hard, and they kind of come out and expose what they're really about.
I liked it when her and Schuster were sitting with then President Trump, and she made the comment, well, we need to have a discussion. And Trump says, no, we're not going back doors and having a damn discussion because that's how you get your bull crap deals. And we're not doing it.
Yep.
And Schuster was having a fit.
Schumer was 2 of them. I remember that when he first went into office. They wanted to do it out of public view. And he said no. He said right here and talk.
Hey, he was not too happy about all that. So,
a lot of people don't
but next week we hope to have a guest on the show, somebody we can probably have a decent conversation with. Not saying that we don't now, but at least someone that understands.
I was going to say, what are you saying? Is there a hit message there? You underlying something?
He's out to give you a complex, Lee.
I have
Leland, Leland, I need to give you a compliment, okay? So here's the compliment. So everybody that knows me that I've talked to knew about the pan bolts stripped on for the gasket, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I found out. And this is for all you new hands out there that want to do your own work too, like Leland Schmidt, because he likes to put the money in his pocket, which is nothing wrong with that. You can only use those pan bolts once, maybe twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they stretch. It's the way they're made today.
Yeah.
And when I have pan bolts torqued in Clearwater, Minnesota, and I get to Dalton, Georgia, and I am told half of them they could take out by hand.
What did they torque them at? Because it's supposed to be 35 plus 5.
40 pounds.
Yeah.
40 pounds each torque. And which, by the way, if you ever get down to Dalton, Georgia, I recommend you go see Jay at Dalton Truck Sales. Jay will take care of you. There's another good shop to put in your resume
Oh, Sean Fro. Oh, there he is.
Or you can see a guy like Leland Schmidt, and he'll charge you $40 a night just to sit in his yard, and then if he's got to take you to the motel, he'll charge you extra.
Damn right. Motel's a long ways away.
That's where you're really going to pay.
He'll make you when Leland gets done with you, he'll make you feel like a true company driver.
I told you I would fix your truck and charge you a couple $100 less than Clearwater does, and I'll make you sit there just as long, even though I'll have it done in a couple hours.
So,
Leland, you ever get that quarter?
You're on your way to Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
You took your wife through in the jump seat, and you're on your way to Florida.
She's always in the jump seat.
I know.
She's been in the jump
We
seat
all know.
6 years. Going to be starting 7 in January. Wow.
Oh,
No.
He's having reflections, John. So, well, we got nothing else to talk about, John. We'll go ahead and close her down tonight. So don't forget
All right,
tomorrow
you guys
night.
have a good night.
All right, you too, Leland.
You
Thanks
too,
for
Leland.
calling in. And that'd be
Yep,
Leland
bye-bye.
Schmidt, Trucking Across America with the Schmidts.
And don't forget, tomorrow night, John Grosvenor will be on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Conservative. Sunday nights, we have the Witches Brew. They're back on, meaner and badder than ever. And then Sunday afternoons, we have Candidly Kim. Kim Coleman talks about the state of Utah and how things are going out there, and how she questions certain politicians about what they're doing and their job re-elections are. And we will be back next Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
All right. Sounds good to me. Good night, everyone.